NAYE Extra Media UJ. Subscribe for all updates.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. This is the minority report signed by myself, the Honorable Geoffrey Ekanya, the Honorable Nabukera Hanifa, the Honorable Anna Adeke, the Honorable Brenda Nabukenya, and the Honorable Karim Masava. Madam Speaker, the object, as stated, of the bill is to amend the Excise Duty Act to revise the rates of excise duty on certain excisable goods and services under Schedule 2 to this Act. The primary problem with this bill is that it targets goods such as sugar, cooking oil, cement, and petroleum that are essential and directly affect the lives of the ordinary people on whose behalf we sit in this parliament. The new tax proposals have the effect of increasing the cost of living exponentially, already troubled by the effects of the war in the Middle East. The proposals will also increase the cost of doing business, thereby affecting employment and making Ugandan goods expensive in the regional market. And the bill is not even complying with the Public Finance Management Act. And it comes at a time when there is no comprehensive tax policy in place, as per the May 5th, 2022 resolution of this House. And I'll start with the comprehensive taxation policy. Madam Speaker, those of us who signed the minority report, just want to echo the concerns of the House expressed during consideration of a motion moved by Honorable Javira Semwanga on May 5th, urging this lazy NRM government to immediately formulate and table a comprehensive tax policy.
Asking what?
This lazy NRM government. I am reading a report. If you have problems, it will be after.
Parliamentary language, Ibra.
Madam Speaker, this is a report signed by...
Actually, the person who signed that report is also unparliamentary.
But, Madam, I don't want to begin debating a report I have not
our
read.
children are watching us, and they're wondering which kind of parliament is that. Anyway, government will respond to you, but it is improper.
Madam, I don't want to begin debating a report as I present. But the fact that a private member was now the one concerned with the existence of a comprehensive tax. Okay, this hard-working government, we can change it to say hard-working government. Honorable Javira, urging this hard-working NRM government to immediately formulate and table a comprehensive tax policy. We are legislating in a policy vacuum. The Javira motion was passed on May 5th. Unfortunately, Right Honorable Speaker, up to now, this government, hard-working government, every financial introduces tax bills without a taxation policy in place. This approach, Honorable Speaker, allows government to engage in speculation and guesswork while originating and imposing taxes. This leads to unfair taxation that disproportionately burden the already impoverished citizens. The Honorable Kate Shumba, former Commissioner for Domestic Taxes at Uganda Revenue Authority, emphasized the necessity of making tax decisions in accordance with a clearly defined policy framework. In his words, we need to base our tax decisions on a structured policy rather than relying on ad hoc negotiations. But like many NRM MPs, he has signed the majority report urging government to tax citizens without the existence of a policy. While launching the Domestic Revenue Mobilization Strategy 2019, 2020, 2023, 2024, the Finance Minister, Honorable Matia Kasaija, who first became a minister in 1980, said, in order to achieve our revenue potential, we will move away from ad hoc annual tax policy changes. These piecemeal adjustments with little alignment to overreaching strategy have created a high degree of unpredictability and uncertainty in our tax direction. The domestic revenue mobilization strategy will address this as well as ensure that our tax policy embodies the principles of simplicity, fairness, citizen welfare, and sustainability. Going forward, the Honorable Matia Kasaija said, we will involve taxpayers more and fully in the tax policy formulation process, restoring ownership and public confidence in the tax system.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. I thank my honourable colleague for a well-detailed minority report. But looking at what we have on our schedule today, I was thinking if the honourable member could just go on the areas of contention to save us time, instead of going through all this reading, so that we can proceed with other items on the agenda. Thank you.
Honorable Ibra. Finish. And then in the subsequent one, we should be looking at the areas of dissent. But let him finish his report.
I think the Honorable Isaac has
but whether you want it,
has
we have
run
to
quickly.
finish. Finish, do it.
Because this is a two-page report. And at this stage, we are dealing with the policy generally. The specific issues are in the committee stage. So the Madam Speaker, the domestic revenue mobilization policy, the Honorable Matia Kasaija said, will ensure that our future tax policy embodies the principles of simplicity, fairness, citizen welfare, and sustainability. Going forward, he said we will involve taxpayers more and fully in the tax policy formulation process, restoring ownership and public confidence in the tax system. Honorable Kasaija also said future resource mobilization efforts depend on Ugandans perceiving a close link between taxes paid and services enjoyed. He spoke about fiscal and social contract and efforts to stamp out corruption. I didn't know that the same Honorable Kasaija will continue leading a team of economists that think in installments as these continued piecemeal annual tax proposals suggest. Let Honorable Speaker, in the absence of such a comprehensive taxation policy to date, we are urging this Parliament to reject these tax proposals that are framed to exploit citizens in order to raise money to fund main luxury. And for every proposal that you adopt, please know there are people you are likely to render unemployed. The World Bank in its July Uganda Human Capital Development and Growth Review spoke about the impact of taxation on employment. And I quote, over 90% of farms in Uganda are macro and informal, consisting mostly of self-employed household enterprises. While 28% of adults own or co-own a new business, Uganda also has some of the highest business discontinuation rates in the world. Factors contributing to this include the high tax rates, corruption, and low human capital among both owners and their workers. Both World Bank and National Planning Authority report that of every 4 businesses started in Uganda, 3, which is 75%, will die before their 5th anniversary because of the high cost of credit and because of taxation. Revenue mobilization goals and targets must not conflict with the broader socio-economic objective of any country. That's our advice to the hard-working NRM government and its newly commissioned Chankwan's graduates. Uganda Manufacturers Association appeared before the committee and said they were never consulted. They said we will be consulting. They warned against the overtaxation of essential goods. They informed the committee that annually they produce about 800,000 metric tons of sugar, but only half is consumed in the country. You are going to make consumption of sugar by our ordinary people difficult and exporting the same sugar unattractive. manufacturers are speaking about stocks in their warehouses. Madam Speaker, we are opposed to the 200 shilling that government seeks to impose and increase on petroleum. This section also addresses cement, adhesive, grout, white cement and lime. Honorable Speaker, the demand for gasoline and oil is inelastic. That means that any increment in tax on any of the above will rest on the final consumer. Excise duty is an indirect tax imposed on specific goods manufactured locally or imported, and is typically embedded in the price by the final consumer. Fuel prices are already high and are expected to increase further as a result of the geopolitical tensions in the Middle East. Since energy drives other activities, the cost of doing business in Uganda will become high and difficult to contain. As of this morning, pump price has hit 5,500 per litre. The IMF and World Bank have said that even if the war in the Middle East stops and freedom of navigation restored, it will take a whole year for oil prices to stabilize because refineries bombed may take years to repair. There is some lousy argument by some NRM functionaries that Uganda is safe because it buys oil from so and so. Even that so and so will or has already raised the prices because of the war. Let us not behave as if Chankwanzi is heaven. We will still live on earth. The Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Uganda advised that if government must increase oil prices, it must be purposes of addressing inflation that may have eroded the value in the last 1 year. That's why they said apply an inflationary increase of shillings 50 per litre. You increase petrol to 1,600 and diesel to 1,280. Doing otherwise will make production cost surge, which will lead to price hikes across various goods. Honorable Isaac, I'm on the last page. We recommend that...
Honorable Isaac is in his last page of his tabloids story. Actually, when I go home, my son tells me those kind of stories. You see, you know, that's a tabloid story. Please finish.
We recommend that the proposal be dropped or repealed and the current excise duty maintained as they are already high at 1,550 per litre. In fact, if you read the huge volumes of the draft estimates brought here, Bbeeyi is followed by petroleum in terms of raising revenue, about more than 4 trillion already. We reject the proposal to increase tax of 1,000 per 50 kilogram on cement, adhesive, grout, white cement, or lime. This will slow down the construction sector, a major employer. It has become a practice to increase taxes on the above every financial year. In 2024, government increased taxes on cement, grout, and lime. First, with the housing deficit in the country, one would be expecting government to promote housing construction through reductions in prices of building materials like we are doing on hotels earlier. Government cannot talk of promoting decent and affordable housing while at the same time increasing taxes on building materials. Government wants everything at the same time, raising taxes, and they also want decent housing. Let government choose one, decent housing, then reduce taxes on building materials. You want more revenue, then increase your taxes, but don't mind about the plight of citizens. Remember, this sector has been targeted in the recent times. Already rental taxes are affecting investment in the sector. Honorable Speaker and members, be reminded that this method of introducing multiple taxation and increasing existing ones triggered widespread resistance in Kenya, leading to chaos. Let government be mindful of introducing multiple new taxes that directly affect everyday life. Finally, reconsider motorcycle when you are dealing with the excise duty. To impose excise duty of 500,000 from 200 will increase the cost of motorcycle acquisition and limit business expansion. Would rather ask government to at least maintain 200,000. The intention is to protect the many youth and informal sector livelihood. Honorable Speaker and members, we should learn something from the Kenyan experience that demonstrated that debt-driven taxation must be handled with extreme care. When citizens perceive that they are bearing the cost of fiscal imbalance through higher living expenses and reduced economic opportunity, resistance can quickly emerge. Right, Honorable Speaker, that's where our report ends. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable. Honorable members, you've heard the report of both the major report and the minority. Silo, you have something to say?
Yeah, Right Honorable Speaker and Chair of the committee, this is an opportunity for us to speak for the people. How I wish everybody was actually in the house, because this is the time that really matters most. Starting with the issue of hiking prices on fuel. Right Honorable Chair, I do not agree with the committee. I do not agree with the minister. I agree with the minority report. The issue is that at this time we are talking about what is happening in the Strait of Hormuz. All of us watch TV when we go back. The moment Trump says we are not going to have peace talks, prices go up. When he changes his mind, something stabilizes a little. For how long shall we have that kind of thinking where we don't think about the current situation in the world? I thought that when we are discussing about the policy of tax, we look at the situations generally. Right, Honorable Speaker, away from that one, the issue of cement, come to my constituents and see the need for people to construct decent housing. How can we on earth think we should levy more on cement, grout, adhesive, and the rest? Instead, at this time, we will be talking of removing taxes on cement so that we boost construction, but also there is a big marriage between construction industry and tourism. Last time you were telling us that you want to boost the tourism. How can you boost it when you're increasing taxes on cement? I think it doesn't work like that. Right, Honorable Speaker, the last one. When we talk about the issue of taxing plastics, for me that is okay, because we want to discourage. Let us look for alternatives, but we cannot be seen to be the ones actually in this house to tax the other ones that I've talked about. Eliminate the tax on fuel, eliminate the tax on cement, there we will agree. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Connie. Procedure.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Procedure. Procedure, Isaac.
Actually, it was a motion, Madam Speaker. The motion is that if we can proceed to the committee stage so that we look at this item clause by clause. It will also give us an opportunity to debate on it and put our points across to support whatever clause we want to change. Thank you.
Members, there is a motion that there's a motion on the floor.
I want to oppose the motion. Firstly, Right Honorable Speaker.
The motion is not even seconded.
There seem to be no seconders.
No, I haven't asked for secondment. Let me, for procedure, let me just finish, then I give you to. Members, do you second that motion that as seconded by Omara, by Amos, by Musazizi, Gabriel, Isaac, Dr. Emily. What Honorable Isaac, you justify your motion.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, when we move in the committee stage, we look into detail, clause by clause of this matter. It still gives us an opportunity to amend accordingly, if so we wish, and do the same issues that we are doing now, debate and putting points on what the issue is. But at least there it will have an effect that it will be adapted or amended, or we stand on by it.
Honorable Ogon, like you've spoken about cement now. when we are in that clause of cement, we debate exhaustively and agree or disagree. That's what Honorable Isaac is talking about. But let me first hear from my good Lob. No, let me hear the Lob. Lob is Lob.
Right, Honorable Speaker. Today we are really being taken at a terrific speed. So there was a suspension of rules to say, let's not.
Now,
I'm giving a generic.
After calling you my good Lob.
Then let me show you that I am bad.
Lob.
But let me make this statement, right, Honorable Speaker.
Lob, if you're not in agreement with what he has said, it is okay. We can debate. I don't have a problem with that. I can tell you I have all the time. We are here. Even if up to midnight, we are here. Members, let's debate.
We are here.
Let's debate. You debate.
I thank you for conceding to our insistence that we get to debate a bit of the principles. Because you see, right, Honorable Speaker, there's a reason why the two processes are provided for. The debate of the general principles, then committee stage. By the way, at committee stage, the rules don't allow us to debate.
Con was on the floor. So, Connie.
Oh, you don't want me to finish what I was saying, right, Honorable?
No, now we are saying we are debating.
Okay, I'll come back.
Yeah, Connie.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to thank both committees for their reports.
Yes.
However, maybe I will support the minority report, where not maybe entirely, but I would rather say, Right Honorable Speaker, what has been put forward is what affects the lowest person. Whatever concerns the low person, it's of late that people have begun to build. And now if the cost of cement is going up, then they will never build at all. We'll get back to mud and water and timber, which is also outdated, given the fact that we are moving to a middle income status as a nation. Right Honorable Speaker, it's going to be very outdated for us to get back to that. Second, Right Honorable Speaker, leaving the building materials apart, when we get to cooking oil, which affects...
First of all, how much is cement now?
35.
Depending on the gauge.
35,000. Depending
on the gauge.
Yeah.
There is semi-1, semi-2. They differ. So we are looking at if it is 35, then it will go to 36. Not so.
No, it is per kilo. It's per kilo.
A kilo of 50.
Yeah, by 50 kilogram.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Right Honorable Speaker, it's evident that right now people who are involved in very small businesses are the youth and the women who basically base on baking, and that is maybe making chapatis, mandazis, and they are really surviving through that. Now, if cooking oil is again hiked, Right Honorable Speaker, we are going to have a lot of unemployment, and the crime rate is going to rise. Secondly, they've also destabilized them, and now they are trying to look for cooking within their homes and then move around with these products, which are being consumed by people who move up and down every other day. If we do that, Right Honorable Speaker, we'll be depriving them of the rights. And Right Honorable Speaker, thirdly, the cheapest means of transport in this country is boda, where many times I inclusive use boda, especially when we are caught up in jam. Now, if a boda will not, first of all, they are struggling with the 200,000. Now, if we hike it to 500,000, and we're rendering them jobless. Yet unemployment is on the rise. And our youth are basically involved in that kind of transport sector. Right, Honorable Speaker, let the 200 remain, other than getting it to 500,000. I want to thank you.
I want whoever is giving a submission, the fact is we must raise money. These people want good roads, want hospitals, want what? Now, if you're saying, if we are talking about cement, we are saying, okay, this would be an ideal position. You get it, eh? A middle ground. This would be the middle ground. We cannot say forever that this is, we are not static. Eh? You give your suggestion and say, as me I would suggest, A, B, C, D, and that is what would be. It would help us in our debate.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, it has been at 200,000, and they've been struggling. Can we try to put it at 250?
Okay.
250.
And then the cement?
The cement, maybe...
No, you cannot say zero when you are the same people complaining of bad roads. You are the same people complaining no hospitals. You are the same people. No, you leave Connie. You are not his assistant. Connie.
Right Honorable Speaker, like you've already.
What is the procedure about? He's a member of parliament of Mitoma. And he has just come to tell me he loves me. And that is that, period.
There are standard procedures here of receiving the speaker or deputy. But just
that
for
is
the
a member
deputy
of
speaker
parliament.
to sneak in like that.
He came as a member of parliament. And I'm happy that he came. Join me in clapping our hands for him to come. Yeah. Oma, thank you for coming, Honorable Thomas. Yes, Eki.
Madam Speaker.
Tororo cement.
Yes, the issue of cement is very serious. Because we are very lucky to be in Tororo, and we need to find out why that Tororo has 3 cement plants, the biggest in this country. The reason is that Tororo is a hub for distributing cement to Sudan, to Kenya, to Kampala, and to DRC. If we increase this tax, Madam Speaker, our cement is exported to DRC. As we talk today, Rwanda had the cement plants that were almost out of production. The 2 cement plants have now emerged, and they are producing cement in big quantity and competing with us for the market in DRC. It is going to have serious impact. The tax you are proposing to collect, you will lose it. Because now export market, more than 50% of cement produced here is sold in DRC. Secondly, sugar. As we talk now, Madam Speaker, sugar employs more than 80,000 young people. And we need to find out, Madam Speaker, why we have sugar export majorly to DRC. But as we talk now, because of geopolitical reason, Tanzania, Rwanda, and Burundi are bringing sugar from Brazil, and the sugar is rebagged as East African sugar and is entering DRC. Honorable Minister, you need to do complete research when you want to introduce tax. Look at the region. You increase the tax on sugar, you are going to allow sugar from other regions entering DRC and will not have market for our sugar. And therefore, Madam Speaker, second to issue of border. Many young people who would be collaborating people in town are in the border industry. By increasing tax of 500,000, you are going to increase thuggery in this town, and many young people will be unemployed.
Madam Speaker.
Members, we are now having a committee of the whole house. We are having a committee of the whole house. So, Members, Lob, can I complete with you?
With your permission, I conclude. Madam Chair, I therefore want to request you to exercise restraint because of the fuel price. It already has a trigger in all the products, all across. In fact, your friend, Madam Chair, William Ruto, the President of Kenya, His Excellency, has reduced the price, the taxes, and even procuring financing from the international lenders.
Our prices for fuel here are lower than Kenya. Kenya is 70 shillings. Time 30.
Madam Chair, you have a point, but ours is temporary.
The good thing you say, my friend, His Excellency Ruto. So just know that we are in touch.
Yes, thank you very much. I know, and you used to delegate me to deliver your messages. Madam Chair, yes, that is a fact. Madam Chair, our situation here is going to worsen because as we speak today, most of the petrol stations are drying out. And therefore, I would urge government, I know the people, you are now in power of the election, that this short period, we need to reconsider the taxes we are introducing. And the last one on cooking oil, we are likely to have cooking oil that is contaminated to be released in the market. And that will increase the health cost. I therefore want to make a proposal for us to raise revenue, Madam Chair, that there are certain areas we can raise revenue from. For example, we tax brand new cars. Because these are cars of people who have money. We increase the tax on it, and therefore we shall be able to collect more money. Number two, in some countries within Africa, like hotels, people go to hotels. They will buy beer there at 20,000 shilling a liter, a bottle. You drink a bottle of soda, 10,000. We increase tax in those hotels.
On beer, sir.
Yes, on beer sold in Sheraton and Serena. We will be able to cushion the gap because we need money. But finally, so I want to thank you very much, Madam.
Abalungi abatuuliriza era abatulaba olunaku olwaleero tuchaddeko ewa Sheikh Asiraf Dembe.
Sebo sanyise okubalaba amannya agange Seeka Asiraf Dembe akola ku bizibu by'enjawulo omuntu singa abalina ebirwadde musomereddwa tumwa amazzi ga lukuya nga bw'obadde ogalaba tugenda abantu ku kyoto ne twokya emizimu emibi egibabaamu n'okulomba edduwa abantu singa abeera ng'ali wano atuuse sobola okumulombera edduwa ne waba atatuuse nga mpadde amannya ge naye ng'ali wala maneetaase enamba yange yeno eri 0707763711 namwe bannyinaffe abali ebweru oyagala okuba nti oyagala okulombera ku dduwa ng'olina ebizibu viza zibuze amaka gakolongotana sente zikola zimpita mu ngalo ojja kumpeereza ekifaananyi kyo n'amanyago ebyo byokka bijja kummala nja kulombera edduwa ojja kutereera olunaku olusembayo mu mwezi mba n'edduwa eyawamu ffenna n'abalwadde bange abakadde n'abapya. Salaamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.